big game today, boys. I hope you're focused. We got to get this game. We're in the hunt. We need this win. We can't let our guards down now. I love baseball season. Oh man, from the time pitchers and catchers report to spring training to the final out of the World Series, I am loving it! That's what I'm talking about. 3 up, 3 down. Now let's get some runs. And there's nothing like the tradition of Yankee baseball. There's something to be said about almost 100 years of excellence and 27 rings. Yup, you heard me, 2-7. It is high, it is far, it is gone! You're on the mark, Teixeira. Oh, there's nothing like a home run. Did you guys see Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit? I mean, leave it to Derek to do it in style. That game was so exciting. It was like the first time he got up to bat. He had everyone on the edge of their seats as he played a little standoff with the Rays pitcher. Fastball after fastball, foul ball after foul ball. Jeet kept it alive. And then he saw his pitch, took his swing, and bounced a single through the shortstop and third baseman for number 2,999. When he came up to bat the second time, everyone wanted the same thing. Number 3,000. And Jeter delivered. He fouled off a couple, and then he saw that 78-mile-an-hour curveball coming his way, turned on it, boom! It was gone! The stadium went crazy and roared with excitement as the Yankee captain, their captain, my captain, rounded the bases and hit home plate. Jeter went on to hit 5 for 5 in that game and drive in the winning run. Perfection. That's what baseball is. OMG, you're like totally not gonna believe what happened to me today. I was walking down the hallway and like, I totally saw Bobby walking down the hallway and like, Bobby smiled at me. Bobby is like the hottest guy in school. So, I went to like my first period class and I sat down next to Melissa. Okay. Melissa's been my best friend since we were like fetuses. we're like totally BFF. So I sit down next to her and I'm like, Melissa, you're like totally not gonna believe what happened to me. I was like walking down the hallway and like Bobby smiled at me. And she was like, so? I mean, what does that mean? That's like not a big deal. And anyway, I thought you were like totally in the shade. I like couldn't believe my ears. I mean like, Abby, this is Abby we're talking about here. So like, we go to my locker after class and like, I found this note. I have to read it to you. It's so exciting. You're hot. Dash, Bobby. Bobby thinks I'm hot. And Melissa like totally had to apologize for doubting me. And like, isn't love like totally awesome? When I grow up, I want to be a witch. I already know all the spells. My mom told me that I need to learn the difference between fiction and nonfiction, but I say, why can't a girl dream? What's wrong with wanting to go to the best school ever? I just know that if I was at Hogwarts, I would totally fit in and I'd find a place where I belong. And I just know that everyone would understand me there. I would definitely be in Gryffindor. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Okay, so I do know the difference between fiction and nonfiction. But, oh, J.K. Rowling, she just has created this phenomenal world. A world I can totally see myself being in. Sometimes I imagine myself on adventures with the gang. You know the gang. Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I would totally be a leader in Dumbledore's army. I would come face to face with Draco Malfoy and Bellatrix Lestrange, and I would show no fear. I would cast spells so fast they wouldn't even know what to do with themselves. Take that and that! So, some people don't understand why this means so much to me. Like that guy who tried to ruin the 6th book for me, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I was standing online at midnight with my mom outside the Barnes & Noble, waiting for my reserved copy, when this lunatic, I'm sorry, it's still hard for me to talk about, this lunatic drives by and yells, "Snape kills Dumbledore!" Everyone started screaming, including me. No, how can this be? No. Oh, how could anyone be so cruel? I cried. I cried all the way in the line. I cried all the way home, clutching this book and wondering, could it be true? Could Snape really do that? What would Harry do without Dumbledore? My mom told me I need to get a grip on reality, get a handle on myself. But it's just so hard. Harry means so much to me. It's Friday, Friday, yeah, it's the weekend, and I'm ready to party. Nothing can hold me back. I'm about to get a fresh cut, put on my new kicks, and roll up to my favorite club. When those beats drop, it's like I'm alive. Those lights flashing, like they're there just to light up my moves. Oh, thinking about how much fun I'm going to have on the weekend is what gets me through the week. Some people say they live to work. Not me, man. I work to live. And living is what I do best. I can't wait. Watch out. Here I come. And also of you. Well, there's another hour of my life I'll never get back. I wouldn't even go to church at all if my mother didn't make me. Most of the time, I'm just going through the motions and trying not to fall asleep. I didn't think anyone noticed or cared until today. I was walking out of church, and the priest stopped me. He's like, "Can I get a word with you?" And I mean, you can't say no to a priest. So I was like, okay. So he's like, "Go inside and wait for me." So I go back into the church and I sit down and I'm like, pretty nervous. And then I hear this voice behind me. "I'm sorry I bored you today," he said. I was like sweating and really nervous and fumbling through my words, and I think I managed to say something like, "No, Father, that's not it at all." And he started laughing. He told me to calm down and not be nervous. He said he just wondered why I would come to church if I hated it so much. So I said, "You want the truth?" He said, "Of course." He is a priest. And I said, "My mom makes me." And he was like, "Well, do you believe in God?" And I was like, "Of course I do." And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "Father, why do you sound so surprised to hear me say that I believe in God?" And he said, "Well, I guess I just don't understand how if you believe in God, you're not excited to be in God's house." So I was like, I don't really understand what you're saying. And he was like, "Well, you know, if you believe in God, I just find it hard to believe that you couldn't be excited about him." And I was like, just staring at him because I didn't really know where this was going. And he says, "Do me a favor, list 3 words that you think describe God." So, I mean, I just gave him like, you know, the standard answer that I've been learning since I was little. Father, Savior, Holy. He was like, "Savior, huh? Are you happy to be saved?" And I was like, "Saved from what?" He was like, saved from sin. Are you happy that Jesus paid the price for your sin and that you don't have to pay it yourself? So I was like, sure. And he was like, whoa, don't get too excited on me now. And I laughed a little. And he was like, you know, the word that I think best describes God is alive. God is alive. And he was like, tell me what happens, why we celebrate Easter. And I was like, because Jesus rose from the dead. And he was like, tell me that again. And I was like, because Jesus rose from the dead. And he was like, one more time. So I paused for a second. And I think it hit me like what his point was. So I thought about what I was saying. And I thought about what it meant. And I said, because Jesus rose from the dead. And he looked at me and yelled, he's alive! And I looked at him and yelled, he's alive! Now that's something to get excited about.